So we're going to talk through our exam study guide. All right, and y'all's exam study guide for second period went 26 through number 38. 26 is your exponent rules, so multiplying exponents that have the same base. What you do is you add the exponents together. So you're going to look at what's 4 plus 3 plus negative 2, and that's 5. So this answer is just a to the 5th power. That's it. That's all we've got to do. Okay, for 27. 27 says x to the 4th, y to the 30th, z to the 9th, all over, x to the negative 2, y to the 20th, z to the 7th. Okay, you subtract the exponents, okay, when you're dividing like we have here. So with your x's, all right, 4 minus negative 2 is positive 6. And so this is going to give you x to the positive 6. Okay, y to the 30th, 30 minus 20 is 10. And the 10 that are left over are in the top of your fraction. So y to the 10th is in the top. All right, 7 and 9. 9 minus 7 is 2. So z to the 2nd. Okay, and that's in the top. So there's nothing left in the bottom. A lot of times we put a 1 in the bottom or in the top if there's nothing left, if everything gets canceled. But you don't have to write that 1 in the bottom of the fraction, so you could just write this like that. But when you have dividing the same base, you subtract those exponents. 427. 428, okay? It doesn't matter what's in the parentheses. If it's raised to the 0 power, the answer is 1. Okay, that's what you have to know off of that on 28. For 29, this says 9f to the negative 4th power, g to the 7th power. Negative exponents are not allowed. So that f to the negative 4 is the only thing that has a negative exponent. 9 has a positive exponent. Its exponent is 1. So the only thing that has to flip is the f to the negative 4. Flips down to the bottom of your fraction, and the 9g to the 7th stays in the top of your fraction here. Okay, so that one is simplified there. 430. This says 3y to the 4th raised to the 5th power. For this, we need to multiply this in to each of the exponents. 3 has an exponent of 1 right here, so that's going to be 3 to the 5th power and y to the 20th power. Okay, we could simplify that out. 3 to the 5th power, if we type that in our calculator, 3 raised to the 5th power is 243 y to the 20th. Okay, 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. 5 times total. All right, so that's number 30. Okay, 31. 31 says when you multiply exponents with the same base, all right, 31 is like 26. So you add the exponents. So number 31 is just like 26. You add the exponents. When you divide exponents with the same base, you subtract. So 32 is just like 27. You're subtracting the exponents. When you raise an exponent to another exponent, that's what we did in number 30, you multiply. So 33 is like number 30. Okay? 34. All right, 34 gives you all these lines. Okay, so you got a graph that looks like this. One line's like this, a blue line, a green line. And then we have this profit line right here. Okay, the red profit line. So it says, consider the profit line. Which point will give the highest profit and why? So What we've got to do is you've got to pick these points on the edges of your region here, plug those into your profit equation. 5x plus 6y equals 100. And we've got to see which one will give us the highest point. If we were to move this up, what's going to happen is when we plug in this point, 10.4 and 17.6. All right, if I plug that in, 5 times 10.4 plus 6 times 17.6, that's going to give me, that point gives me a profit of 157 and 60 cents. Okay, and my other point, which is 5 and 20, that's going to give me a profit. So I've got 5 times 5 plus 6 times 20. That only gives me a profit of $145. So the highest profit point is 10.4 and 17.6. It's the highest point in the feasible region. Is going to always give you the highest profit. So I'm always looking for the highest point in the feasible region. Okay? On 35.
Wait.
35. Okay, is that point, this point that's below all the lines. So you got all these lines going. Okay, our point is below all the lines. So would this be a possible combination for our company? If it's below all of our restrictions, then yes. Okay, that would work. Any point that is above those restrictions, so if we were like up here, up here, up here, any point up here in these regions did not work for our company. Okay, if we remember back to our bakery examples with the plain cookies and the ice cookies. All right, last couple right here. I got 3 more. So 36. The sides of a right triangle are 6, 8, and 11. Does this work for the Pythagorean theorem? So for A, B, and C. So is 6 squared plus 8 squared equal to 11 squared? That's the question we're trying to answer. 6 squared is 36. 8 squared is 64. 11 squared is 121. So 36 plus 64 is 100. And that does not equal 121. So do these sides work for the Pythagorean theorem? No, they do not. They are not equal to each other. Okay, 37. Find the missing side using the Pythagorean theorem. Okay, one side is 3. That's A. This is B. This is C. So we have 3 squared plus x squared equals 5 squared. So we have 3 squared is 9. X squared, 5 squared is 25. We got to subtract because we're solving for a leg here. X squared is equal to 16. What does x have to be? What times what will give me 16? Or take the square root of both sides, and x is equal to 4. So that is the missing side for us. Last one, 38. Find the missing side in the triangle. This is using our trig. Okay, so here's x, 37 degrees, and 5. So if we are labeling everything here, my hypotenuse is 5. The hypotenuse is always across from that right angle. X is attached to the angle, so that's the adjacent here. We do not have the opposite side. So with our trig rules, SOHCAHTOA, we're looking for the trig ratio that deals with A and H. Okay, the only trig ratio that deals with A and H is cosine. So you're going to have to set this up as the cosine of 37 degrees equals to A, which is x, over H, which is 5. We cross multiply. X is in the top, so all we've got to do is do 5 times the cosine of 37 degrees. Got to make sure my calculator is in degrees mode. So 5 times the cosine at 37 is going to give you x is equal to 3.99 right there. Okay? So, again, label your H, A, and O, then figure out which one you need. All right? Either sine, cosine, or tangent.